and coffee and coffee and coffee.
Well, if no one's gonna drink this, maybe I'll just... Ugh, that's terrible. That's...
I don't know why that tickles me sometimes.
I'm like Tina today. I'm high on caffeine.
It's Friday, Der Freitag. It is end of the week for most people. Final day of the... I really hate this. It's like there's like a wall of words I gotta get up over. I'm gonna take some of that out. That's really annoying. It is Friday morning. It's also Fantastic Friday when we talk about some of our favorite shows on television.
Because there is still good stuff out there. Yay.
Yeah, there are. And I tell people all the time, if you listen to your friends, not all of them, 'cause we all have idiots for friends that don't know quality writing if it came up, slapped them in the face and impregnated them. And
we have to say they wouldn't know it if it jumped at them naked in the shower.
Yeah, that's much better. I've lost my virtual background right now because when Anima and I were doing some talking and I was working, my video card crashed on my computer, and now all of a sudden, what's it called? NVIDIA broadcast will not load and recognize my camera, even though clearly my camera's here. And so I don't know. I'm going to make it through every day. I don't care. Nothing really
John
phases
can't
me.
be here today. John has a problem with his foot. He barely made it to his chair, so we told him to
So
lie
what
back
happened?
down and
I
rest.
didn't see this. What happened?
No, he's got a case of gout.
Gout,
Gout.
yeah.
Gout.
That's what he
Gout.
suspects it is, yeah. So we told him to go back to bed and rest his foot.
He's in terrible pain.
Yeah.
Well, as a diabetic, I can tell him that there is a form of neuropathy that can trick you into thinking it's gout when it's actually just the outer foot, the nerves in your outer foot will just start hurting because of pressure. So I'll talk to him about it later. And he needs to keep an eye on that shit.
He'll probably
But-
try to be here for TGIF, I guess.
I hope so, but at the same time, if he's not feeling good. Speaking of not being able to be here today, Kieran's not going to be here today. He
Oh,
messaged
Oh,
me
no.
this morning that he is inundated with articles from Mikey because he's the only lead writer right now over at Geekosity. So he asked me, would it be too much of an imposition, old man, if I wasn't able to make it? I'm
He really calls you old man?
No.
Aw.
No. I'm just mocking him for being English. And I told him, no worries, we'll do the show. I'm sure he'll send a message to say to everybody. But I'll deal with that in between shows. Darius Munchausen has a $4 super sticker. I am certain that it is a pair with coffee.
Thanks, man.
and yes,
Thank you, sir, for the
that
$4
it is.
super sticker. Was that right?
Yeah.
I'm never going to be wrong on that one. You watch. He's just going to mess with me one day and do something else just to prove me wrong.
No, it's the signature super sticker. That can't change.
Yeah, it's like, I'll teach you to assume, Gerry, because when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Anybody who knows that old axiom. But I had neuropathy for a month in my hand. I have it in my right hand, but it's from my neck, and it's getting worse. It's like it used to be. Like right now, my fingers are dully sore, and if I squeeze, it feels like they're overinflated and they pop. It's just really bizarre, and there's a dull, constant pain. It's constant. It's nonstop. It never stops. And but one of the things they taught in the military and through years of martial arts is, you work your way through the pain and you don't focus on it. And when you don't focus on it, it tends to not really get to you as much. And I'm grateful for that because all those years of training, now I just fine. I do consider you a friend. You goddamn right, Darius. Goddamn right. Damn Skippy, I do.
And by
I'm
the way,
grateful for all of you guys. And Darius has been with us for 17 months. Yeah, thank you, Martin. He's got the PCM giggity. What kind of PCM membership? Giggity. Giggity, giggity. So let's see. We've got Andy Morrow here, Penny, Monkey Jeepus, thank you, come again, D-Bud Martin, Darius Munchausen, and Alex Moore. Hojo is here too.
and Real Wade.
And Real Wade. Good morning, Wade. A lot of you guys I talk to privately, so you're on my friend scale when I start talking to you. And I apologize to everyone if I go long periods of time without responding. It's not because I didn't see your message, even though sometimes that is the case, or that I'm avoiding you. It's because my work schedule is insane, and I get 2.5 days a week to work on my artwork. The rest of my time is spent planning and prepping for shows. Hello, everyone. Good morning, Cam Cam. Well, I'm glad you're here today.
That's coming up to me next week. Not just moving house, moving country.
I was kind of hoping Don would be here because I wanted to start the show off with the show From.
No. You told him to join us for the second hour for From.
Is that what it was? I don't remember that.
And I sent him an invite, so I guess he'll be there.
Good. I sent him one too, just in case. So we'll talk about From towards the end of it. And we're not going to do a breakdown of each episode of this. We're only going to talk about it today, about the season 1, how it impacted us. And we have a whole new season that starts on the 23rd.
I haven't finished season 1.
So this weekend, this is for Don, not for you. Not everything's about you, baby.
Oh my!
I just don't want any spoilers.
Look, we've already talked about things in front of you, so you'll survive it.
Yeah.
What we're wanting to do
is I'm dreading that.
What we're letting people know is this is a really good show. It's on Epix, and it is one of the best out of the blue sci-fi horror shows I've ever seen.
It hooks you from the beginning. You just want to binge it. You can't stop. You need one more.
Yep. And the production is really good. The cast is really good. Even some of these unknown actors are really good actors. It was surprisingly very entertaining. And on top of that, I don't like the use of the mystery box the way JJ does it, but I do love when a storyteller creates a mystery that you have to unravel or solve. And that's what this show has. I watched like 3 videos last night before I went to bed with different theories of what the creatures are in this show. And there are monsters. There be monsters in this movie. I'm
tempted to watch videos like that, but not until I finish the first season. Then I'll go into the other stuff.
Get Jane Theory.
Thanks,
Hey, Monkey, do me a favor. If you know Jane, do an introduction like you did with William. And I'm hoping I'm going to try to get a hold of William today, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make it today because of his work schedule. But if he can, he'll join us this afternoon. Thanks for that introduction, Monkey. See any message I need to look at? Nope. Just everybody. I saw Keith in chat yesterday. I miss Keith. I do too. We all do.
We all miss him. Yeah.
And Keith misses us. When I had to start looking for somebody to take his seat, it hit him hard. And he was in a meeting with us, and he got very emotional. And but I told him, I said, you're not being replaced. It's just somebody's going to take your seat, and they'll continue with the show too, the new person. But I want Keith back because Keith is an essential part of. I mean, this channel wouldn't exist if it weren't for me wanting to do a show directing him and him in front of the camera. But he will be back. I believe it religiously because I know he wants it. And yep, Keith is the man.
There's no one like him, so you can't replace him.
I will rewind and listen at 2 times speed. That's going to be so weird listening to me.
It is weird. I've done it before. Like not at 2 times, but 1.5, and it's so weird. You sound like Donald Duck.
Joe is here too. Joe's Atmosphere. Good to see you, man. So let's go and get into this. We've got where's the film strip, Martin? I thought I saw it.
Yeah,
we'll go ahead and start from Hello Tomorrow. And I'm going to need you to skip ahead every once in a while because we don't have.
That's why I removed the.
I've talked to our good friend Mark, as I call him, Mark C with the big D, Mark D with the C, and he's told me the way he does it, and I'm like, I don't have time to do it the way he does it. I actually just schedule it and do the video. The problem is when I do the slideshow, it's doing this crazy thing. It's just driving me crazy where it's making it longer than the actual show. The show is only it's under 30 minutes, and this video is 50 minutes, the slideshow. And the problem is I'm trying to get all the subtitles in there. So I've got it set to pick up every 3.5 seconds of screen time. So go ahead, hit play. We open with him. I forget this guy's name. Walter. You said? Yeah, Walter. Yeah. Walter is the guy that used to work for his dad, and he still runs the Rockets. It's basically his property now, from what I'm understanding. It's like he inherited that when the dad died, and the dad died right there on the tarmac, and his body is in a barrel right there, contained in a barrel there,
which is really dark.
It's really dark because it's not his body; it's his parts.
Yeah,
and it may not be because what Walter said was, if there's left something of your father, it should be in there.
It's in that barrel. And of course, we see the sheriff or the space marshal. He's escaped the asylum, the nursing home.
He's going for the rocket.
He's on a tractor, an old John Deere, and heading towards the rocket tarmac, the landing pad. And because now
Walter still does transportation, only cargo, not people. And he has a rocket coming back. And they all see
why don't you break down what we just saw? Break it down.
So Walter has a rocket coming back, and everybody sees it and is excited because all the people at the hotel, they believe that rocket, they will be on there when it's leaving again for the moon. And Walter, of course, thinks it's the Gorgon mothership, the enemy, and he has to defend Earth, basically. So he heads towards where the rocket is going, which is the compound where Walter is. And Jack and Shirley are after him because he's the space sheriff and nobody's the moon sheriff, and nobody is to know that he's actually on Earth. That would be awkward. But Shirley stopped the car and wants answers from him. So the sheriff is on the loose, and they are not going after him because he has to talk to Shirley.
But now he wakes up and all his money is missing.
And the money is missing, and he is so hungover. I'm not made for war. He's complaining about his headache, and then he sees the money is missing, and of course that was his everything.
And of course, we know the young couple took it.
Yeah,
the young couple took it because they're going to use it to refund the money to these people.
and they are
Please
happy.
continue.
They are happy being refunded, but then they see the rocket. And of course, Herb being Herb, he is selling upgrades and see, there is a rocket coming. Are you sure you want a refund? You can be on that rocket as soon as it launches. He is really good. As soon as Jack is gone and Joey is gone, he really steps up and does it. So here Shirley and Jack arguing. She wants answers, and he finally confesses. And she slaps him in the face multiple times. I like that scene. She's just so offended by him. She thought they were friends. They have been friends for a long time, and now he confesses there is no Mr. Jenkins, and if it was him. It was all him all the time. And he still believes it, that they can make it happen. But she's
Well,
out there.
I believe it too, but the problem is she's on to him. And because she's on to him, he can't sell to her anything right now.
Yeah, he can't keep up the lie that makes selling it possible in the first place. You can't sell to people and tell them it will be there eventually, but not right now. So, but she knows it now and she's broken. So she leaves him at some point and he goes after the sheriff on his own. Because the sheriff at this point has entered the compound already. And with the rocket coming back, he's in danger. Sorry.
I do find it interesting in this scene when he gets to the rocket pad. And I'll point it out to you that this is where the science part of the show sort of leaves for a moment.
Yeah.
There's no way you can be under a rocket and not be killed instantly.
And they're there so long. I said it when we rewatched it yesterday.
Yeah, it's clearly
And
not
I said,
very
it
high
must be
above
so
them.
hot there right now. How can you stand
It'd be
there?
thousands of degrees. The
She
air.
would have melted. But yeah, that scene is a little bit over the top.
That's right, Darius. The safest form of Moon Sheriff for children is Sheriff Darius Munchausen.
Oh, we got a breach.
Oh, uh-oh. Shall we play something? Let's see, what should we play? Let's go with
Why
this.
don't we take a ride to the Corbata Club? Maybe he stashed the items there.
Mr. Marlowe, people would talk. When I go into the back entrance. Please leave that remark alone.
There we go. So this is really a long scene, but in the end, instead of helping him get the Moon Sheriff and save him, she just gets up and leaves him.
She
You're on
needs
your
some
own.
distance between her and him. Because she just found out that it's all lies and hopes, unrealistic hopes in her eyes. There he is, selling
Darius
them
says-
the rocket.
Yep, always selling, always selling. Darius says, I'm 99% this show is not a replay. He came in for that Tuesday show that was a replay of Monday. He thought it was
I'm
real.
so
That's why.
sorry. We didn't mean to trick you, Darius. It's just
No,
sometimes
but I think
life
it's funny
happens
as
and then we
hell.
need to do a replay. Oh yeah, that screenshot you posted in the group chat, that cracked me up.
Not just a gout attack, I think. Or no, just a gout attack. All right, if you've had gout before, then yeah, probably. But a lot of people with the nerve damage to their feet, like I have it too, if my foot sits slightly to the outside of the foot for too long, it'll start hurting. Anima's heard me complain about it. I'll get really pain.
I hope your broken foot is getting better.
It is.
Good.
In fact, it
Well-
doesn't hurt anymore.
I love that scene where she's telling him what to say and he's misunderstanding some of her words and it just comes out weird. But he's still selling it because now they've all seen the rocket. Now they believe in it again.
So they give the money back, but they're getting the money right back from the customers.
Or at least most of them. And Myrtle here, crazy Myrtle, she's so torn because she wanted it to be a lie and to not be true, but now it seems to be true. So she's really torn. Because life on the moon does sound tempting, and she has nothing left on Earth because she burned down her house with her husband in it.
I don't know what is so tempting. You have to live in a fucking dome.
Hey, I
There's
don't
no
know.
trees. There's nothing there.
Martin, there's no freaking way, I almost dropped the bomb here, to get me on a rocket for 3 days straight. No way. You'd have to knock me out, put me in a coma, whatever, to get me up there. I'm serious.
Well, the travel is the lesser evil for me. The thing is,
I'm
once
scared
you're
of
there, you're in
flying.
a dome. You cannot leave.
Yeah, that
You're
too. I'm
trapped.
too claustrophobic for that.
You're a freaking hamster.
But yeah, that's a different kind of future. Maybe people like it then. I don't know.
I think it has to do with that fantasy that my life sucks. If I just move out, my life will get better.
I think it's the privilege too. Like rich people started it, and now the like middle class people get a chance to do it too. A rich people thing. It's like how many people play golf without actually enjoying it, just because it's a privilege to play golf and to be seen on a golf course.
I am curious to see what their version of life on the moon would be like.
Oh yeah, but we're not there yet. So Jack is talking to Walter, telling him, "You have somebody on the loose on the compound, so
stop eating all that liver, Dustwolfen." It's like one group of people gets it because I have family that's Jewish, and my siblings, and it runs in a lot of the Jewish community gout because they eat so much liver. And in fact, one of the best liver pate recipes I've ever had is my sister's, and not her liver, but the liver she makes, which would be weird if I ate my sister's liver. But she makes a really good liver pate, and boy, you just want to avoid those rich organs, organ meat, because it can absolutely wreck you. Beer causes it. Beer can cause gout. It's uric crystals that build up in your joints of your feet.
Ouch, that sounds painful.
Caused by gravity. If not for gravity, gout might not exist. It would evenly disperse throughout the body.
Well, in the past, gout has been a rich people problem because only rich people could afford all the meat and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that would give them gout.
Salmon is another great cause. This is when they kick him out of the car for being a shitheel.
Yeah.
Keep hitting him. Stop hitting your husband. Really...
Yeah, and even when she says something to insult him, he hits him. And she's like, what?
Yeah, she insults him and he hits her husband. It's funny.
Yeah. He calls her out on the fake twins, and her husband turns around and says, they were not fake, they were optimistic.
Oh, Darius, you've forgotten a rule. Didn't Darius deliver the last breach?
Wasn't Darius?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't remember.
We're only allowed one breach per show per person.
No, that was Camcast.
Was it? All right. That's all I'm asking. Yeah. All right.
Open your back door, baby. Loosen your hinges, I'll show you my key.
Ooh, that sounds
that
sexy.
New rule, only one breach per show. That is on you, Jeebus, because you overdid it. You were breaching so hard, we had to impose that new rule. It got out of hand.
Yeah, it was just like, I got to do a show. So I love their TV dinners in this show. Because you pull a string or something and they heat up inside the can.
You pull the outer lid back,
it popping
and then you see it popping, yeah. And he's getting another message from Jack. He just wants to talk. And I think at that point, Joey finally isn't that angry anymore, because next scene he goes to the office to at least hear him out. Because Jack is really sorry for everything, and he wants to fix this. And of course, as we all know, he still hasn't told him that he's his father.
Yeah, he's sorry. He's ashamed. He wants to fix it, but he doesn't want to embrace what he has done.
He's
He
in
doesn't
over
take
his head. He waited
responsibility.
too long. He waited way
He's
too long with that father thing too. So he's totally getting
yeah.
tangled up in that.
At this point, he's afraid of accepting responsibility.
Yeah, because it's gone too far, and now he has to fix all the work-related stuff with Joey because Joey's so upset finding out that
Well,
it's not
he's
true yet.
created a problem by not just lying to his customers, but lying to his team.
Yeah.
By lying to his team, he has to continue to shine them on, and this is where the problem is that they've had enough and they're figuring things out.
Yeah, Eddie and Herb are not. They are too dumb. But Shirley is clever, so she was onto him, and now she knows. So while Jack is trying to talk to Walter about the rocket and to get to the space sheriff up on the platform, all the people drive over there from the hotel to see the rocket land. And they're all very excited.
Man, don't you love that car?
I love
Oh, I
all
love
the cars in this
all
show.
the cars. The best is the clown car, though, that Lester drives.
Yeah.
He's sitting there
Clown
with
car.
nothing
Oh
in it.
my god.
And there she is. She is,
How
if
did they
anybody
fit in
is a
there?
villain on this series, it's his wife. Because she is the most manipulative person. But at the same time, she's, I don't know, chaotic good, as
Yeah.
some people would say. She creates chaos, but starts pushing towards doing the right thing.
It's her pushing that makes Eddie step up and be a really good salesman. And like,
to save the day. If he
Yeah.
hadn't done what he did, this would be this situation would be untenable.
So with all the
And
pushing that she
there's the
does,
sheriff waiting for the rocket
Now
to land
here's the
on
part
him.
where science just goes insane.
yes,
Because the minute they are hit by the glow and you can see it's close, they would be dead.
and
'Cause
he's
that
just
was-
sitting there waiting to kill the rocket and save the world.
Because the rocket is more intense coming down than it is going up. Because it's trying to slow the descent of a rocket. So it's crazy. The heat that be coming out of that thing trying to land. And they're like right on the landing pad underneath the rockets. It's like, I hate to tell you, man, that's like standing at the opening of a volcano and trying to have a conversation. You wouldn't be able to because all the oxygen would be gone. Plus the heat.
Darius, you've had your back door. You only get
Darius,
one.
you some bitch.
Nice try, but nope.
Actually, my grandpa said it that way. My grandpa
Oh,
would say,
D-Bud is
"That
asking
some
for
bitch."
his now.
Who is?
D-Bud. D-Bud Martin.
Oh, D-Bud? Well, then we'll give him one. Let me know which ones. Here we go.
Thanks for holding on to him, Louise.
That's weird. I left them right here by the back door. Oh, crap.
I feel like our new rule could backfire because now more people breach to get more
Now more
videos.
people. If one person can't breach a lot, everyone must breach once.
Yeah, now they all step in. You'll see. They will all step in.
And just like in Henry V, there's Jeebus at the front of the line going, "Once more onto the breach."
That's the clown car.
I imagine them with a war cry over there, for Jeebus!
For Jeebus. And here comes the rocket. Now,
look at Jeebus' comment. That is.
You think she's chaotic evil?
I do.
Because she does good. So
No,
I think she's chaotic good.
No, the good is collateral. She only wants her advancement.
Intentions. What's important is her intentions. I agree.
Her intention is her advantage. She uses her husband, for Christ's sake.
Now here you go, here. Right now, that heat would be so great.
They would be dead, both of them.
It would have killed them. But I don't care. This is really good drama.
Yes, John. Chaotic selfish is a best representation.
Yeah, absolutely. She's all that's important is her needs. Even though I think she feels guilt, but I don't
Eh.
think it's guilt like what you and I feel.
I think the only thing she feels
Her
guilty
guilt
about
is
is
over being
lying
caught.
about her pregnancy.
Well, I think she hoped she would be pregnant, and she's guilty of doing the exact same thing Jack does, is trying to make the lie the truth by constantly sexing him up or wanting to sex him up.
Yeah,
I've
but
got
she only
nothing.
has her advantage to go for. He really wants to make people happy.
Look
Yeah,
at Jeebus.
I was mentioning that. Jeebus is evil.
He's chaotic evil.
Absolutely.
See how low they are? Absolutely would have killed him right there. They're dead. But I don't care. It's good sci-fi fun.
And it's so good how Jack talks him out of it, but convincing him that he's already saved the world.
John just Das Wolfen breached.
Oh.
How dare you, John? How dare you?
What did I just tell you? Who's the pitcher? Who's the catcher? You're the pitcher and the catcher. You're the pitcher.
There you go. He takes the thing off, salutes him, tells him that, we've got it, sir. Thanks to you. Completely sells him, pulling him out of his delusion so he can save him.
He has a clear moment there where he admits he doesn't remember anything. He doesn't know anything anymore. Because he keeps having those clear moments in between.
I love how Jack
apart.
ducks. Like somehow that'll help you survive a rocket. Ducking.
Yeah.
It's not a helicopter blade, dude. It's a constant source of heat.
Yeah, but I can forgive them. And they are so excited seeing the rocket up close. And manipulative wife, of course, is immediately starting to sell upgrades. Because now they see the rocket for real. They're buying everything.
I love also that this family has a real truck. Not one of the hover ones.
Yeah, it has wheels.
It's like the tractor. There are wheeled vehicles still.
And
because they're old.
There was some kind of jump in the evolution of science in this story, in this universe.
Yeah, I think that the family, they are poor. They've been living in their truck ever since he lost the job. So they can't afford a modern vehicle. Probably had the truck for a decade or longer.
Now, the sadness of this scene is that he's not able to read the room. I don't know if it's because, he's got like something like Asperger's or something, because clearly he's on the spectrum.
Oh, yeah.
But he doesn't know how to read the situation at all because she has succumbed and given in to what's going on. She's already expressed interest in him, but he feels like the only niche he fills is his ability to do his job. So he's constantly still working the scene, trying to come up with a new angle to come at this, not understanding she's surrendered. She's already surrendered to what's going on. And I feel sorry for him, but it's okay. We have another episode to see if he gets his head out of his butt.
Yeah.
And he's constantly trying to sell Walter too. And Walter's like, hey, your dad tried to sell me that same shit. But
yeah, he really wants him to
Jack's
get
telling
into
him, this is more than what my dad offered. Because
and he's also telling him, do you want to continue living like that, like half a life, transporting trash and booze? Or do you want to step up and make the big money, transporting people up to the moon? We can make this happen.
I like Walter. I don't know why, but he reminds me somehow of Buckaroo Banzai's dad. The way he dresses and stuff. I don't know.
I don't know who that is, but I like Walter too.
I'm sure Martin and everybody else knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Buckaroo Banzai, and his dad, Buckaroo's dad, was a Japanese scientist. And I don't know. I feel like if I were to ever do a remake of Buckaroo, just so we could tell the whole story again, I would have him dress like this guy, so we would understand why Buckaroo is so weird.
That's a movie that if I were in
This
charge
is-
of making a remake
This is
of,
important,
I would-
what's happening here.
Well, I don't like it because this isn't Cheryl's place to do
No,
what she does here.
It's not.
She oversteps a boundary.
She's just had it with Jack.
That's
She's so
fine.
pissed at him.
You can
and
have it with
that's
people,
where she does it.
but you don't overstep those bounds. And she does. She oversteps the bounds, and creates a problem that should have been handled by Jack himself. Agreed, Jack should have dealt with it already.
He had
But
so
what
many
she-
chances.
This is pure sabotage, emotional sabotage on her part, making what she does here bad, making her a bad person for doing
Also,
this.
the way she breaks it to him isn't nice to Joey as well.
No, because she's
she's-
making Jack the villain in the situation.
Yeah, and she's just throwing it at him, making him look stupid in a way. I don't know. I felt so bad for the kid in that.
It really does. It makes the kid look like he's an idiot
Yeah.
by doing it the way she does it. She's making him look and feel stupid.
Because let's let the cat out of the bag. She tells him, Jack is your dad. And that is a shocker for him, of course.
And boy, oh boy, that's a whole other kettle of worms, let me tell you. So now everybody wants on board. Would you take my money back?
But now they've seen that the rocket is real because they began to doubt it because the launch has been pushed off and off and off again.
Well, it's off and off, but also because she called everybody telling them it was fake. And now she kind of looks like an asshole for it.
She feels bad too. She tells Lester, I wanted it to not be real, but now it is. And I'm kind of into it.
It used to be a farm.
What are they talking about?
I don't know. I don't recall before motor law.
I think they're having a conversation and chat about something else.
Oh, okay.
Happens.
Yep, one of my favorite songs of all time, Darius. Sabotage.
You need to play
So
that.
you love the JJ movie.
What movie?
The last one, Star Trek Into Darkness, was it? When they destroy a whole armada of ships by playing Sabotage.
No, but once we're done here, I do want to say something positive about Star Trek Picard. Even though I will never watch it on CBS because I don't trust CBS Paramount right now. We watched it and enjoyed the finale, Anima and I.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We didn't
I
cry
am a
like
Rush
other
fan,
people, but it
Darius.
was nice.
I do like Rush. I happen to like Rush a lot. I remember when nobody knew who Rush was and being included in a group of fans that introduced me to Rush. My problem with Rush is I'm not I don't like precision drumming. And so I have problems with drummers that are that technically accurate. Neil Peart's a genius. I'm not going to take that away from him. His drumming is fucking genius. I had to do YYZ for graduation on drums. I'm telling you, I can never do that technical stuff. But my God, it's great music. Moving Pictures, my favorite. My second favorite. My first one is, oh my gosh, the one with the Enola Gay song in it. There's Moving Pictures and there's something Windows, Power Window. I forget the name of it. Came out in the 80s. Really great album. So now he's making the deal. She's got the check now because last week he gave her 24 hours to write the check. She's got the check. She's got investors. And this
Yeah,
is
but she has seen the rocket too now, so she's in.
So this is going to be part of the finale as we move towards it. What's happening here? And is Jack going to be able to salvage things? And of course, with the success of getting the money and the rocket landing, everybody's back on board. He goes to see his boy Joe, thinking, I'm going to let him know we're partners and we're moving forward.
And Joey shuts him down.
And right here, the booby trap was set by Shirley. A bottle of Dom Perignon.
Gerry said booby.
Boobies.
Grow up, Martin.
Yeah, Martin.
No. Why?
Chango Bracho. So the reality kicks in here. Poor Jack. I mean, he's crestfallen here. You can see it is posture.
Yeah, but
Great acting.
he screwed it up. He should have told him first chance he got that he's his father.
I kind of understand not wanting to ruin a good thing. Because he knows there's a chance he might lose it if he tells the truth.
Yeah, but Jack tells him to his face, you're not a friend, we're not partners, and you're not my father. And that breaks Jack. That hits hard.
And I like this one frame as he's walking away. Just look at him. He's just slouched forward.
That was a kick in the nuts. Finding out that Joey knows, and not because he told him, and that he's not having him in his life as father.
Yep. It's a tough,
depressing end to the episode, but I'm looking forward to talking about the next one.
Hey, the show is breathing. Yeah, that's a classic tune there. Red Barchetta by Rush is a jam. Motor cars are illegal, only safe yep. Oh man. Yeah, I got introduced to Rush the same time I got introduced to Jethro Tull, same weekend. And it was my it was when I was in fake college. And I was living with my fake roommate. And he broke everything out because they liked the fact that I knew who Genesis was. They liked the fact that I knew who the Who was. I listened to a lot of the Who and Queen, but then I got introduced to Jethro Tull and Rush that weekend in '82, and I'm like, holy crap! I've never heard these guys before. I love them. Good stuff. That was Martin Cox, who's still a good friend of mine to this day, and my ex-wife Lori, who I don't talk to ever. What nothing to do with her, but she's part of the reason why I got exposed to Jethro Tull and Rush that weekend, because she and Martin were like best friends, and so they like gave me a baptism in fire with like all this different rock and roll. It was good stuff, man. I love the 80s. The late 70s, early 80s, man, were some of the best music I ever heard. But let's see, anything else being said? Yes, it's Italian, pronounced barchetta. Yeah, well, welcome to America. I tell Anna
being
again,
American allows you to butcher words.
Yeah, it does, because there's not a goddamn thing anybody can do but walk away. Because I do it all the time just because I think it's funny.
I know, and it makes my brain hurt.
The only ones I won't do that have historical significance, like I won't mispronounce, and I don't care if it's the Italian pronunciation or not. What I care about is that it's pronounced the way it was named, as Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's home. And I dislike it when there are towns in the United States with that name and they call it Monticello. And that's just dumb. We have places in the Midwest that just don't know how to pronounce things. Missouri has cities and towns named after famous people and locations. And they still find a stupid way of mispronouncing the names. You know, Cuba. Even if they said Cuba, it would be fine. But they have their own stupid way of doing it here in Missouri. But anyway, and Monticello drives me up the wall. I'm going to read this. Seeing Rush as one of my first live shows is still... Kiss was mine. I went to see Kiss. I don't know if I've ever told you guys that. I think I've told Anima that. I was wearing a waiter's jacket and, a little white jacket. And I had a nice light-colored, Easter-colored shirt. Very lavender, purple, sort of light, powdery color. And I was just behind the mosh pit, the front row, because it's not even a row anymore once you get to see a live show. There's no one sitting. It's all like pushing. And I got hit with some of the fake blood and it ruined my clothes.
You never told me that, no.
I got so angry. I hated Kiss for like a while after that for ruining my clothes. I saved up for that.
The only live show I ever went to was Bon Jovi, and it was open air Donauinselfest. It's like huge music festival on that island, artificial island in the Danube. I went with friends, and I got so freaked out by the crowd that I passed out like 15 minutes into the concert and spent the rest in the first aid tent. That sucked.
Well, one thing I find interesting about music is like a lot of rock bands, pop artists, whatever you want to call them, when they would go to Europe, they were thrown by the fact that in Europe, people don't applaud a lot. They applaud at the end of a show. They don't applaud and cheer and do all kinds of weird shit.
That depends on the country.
Back in the 70s, hold on, this was most of continental Europe when they were traveling through. And that has changed now. That audiences globally all react the same way now. This is the infection of, live rock shows has altered how they go to view shows in Europe. Because now the audiences in Europe are just as rowdy. Now, England in the UK, yeah, you expect rowdy because fights break out there. I mean, shit, they don't even know how to watch football without a fight. But, in Europe, though, live performances were really very quiet. And you saw that transition towards the end of the 80s when that started changing in Europe. Gene Simmons, God of Thunder, spit. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, John, it's not that exciting. It wasn't like he spit directly on me. I was caught by spatter.
Ew.
Yeah, it was that. I don't know. I'm assuming it was, the Cairo syrup mix or something because it was in his mouth. Why, because the other stuff is gross. The stuff made with sugar water or Cairo syrup is easier for you to put in the mouth, and he sprayed the shit out of it, and I got hit by the bounce, and it was all over me. And I was not happy. I went there with my old buddy Mark Maxfield. I met Gene Simmons on the X show. I asked Bert who the gay guy with Austin Powers boots was. I didn't recognize him without the makeup. I bet that went over like a lead balloon. Gene's kind of an asshole, I kind of respect him, but at the same time, I don't like him. He's one of those people I respect, but I don't like.
Sometimes you just have to separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, and I didn't like the way they treated Peter Criss. So it was pretty shitty. Oh my God, I've never seen that happen. But I have been back in the days. What time is it, by the way? I don't see our clock at the top left.
48. We got 8 minutes.
That's really weird. I have a counter up at the top to tell me what time it is. And it's not up there in our window now.
That's weird because I have it.
Yeah, I don't. It is weird. It's always up there, telling me how far into the show we are. So now I'm having to look down at my clock to see what time it is. But anyway, Billy Joel was another one I went to see live when I was young. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what shows I've been to. I went to see Pink Floyd a few times. And I got to be honest, like everyone around me was high. I was the only person not high. But I still enjoyed myself. But it's so funny when you're around a bunch of high people and the pig begins to fly from the stadium down to the stage. It's just like people going, oh, like they're losing their minds over this. And I'm like, that's not even a really good, prop.
How did you deal with the crowd though? So many people. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, we're up in the nosebleeds for the first time I went to see Pink Floyd. We had better seats the second time. I went to see both. Oh my God, I just forgot their name. Van Halen. I saw Van Halen and I saw Van Hagar. And I got to tell you, man, I was pretty pleased with the Van Hagar show. It was pretty impressive. Sammy can sing. And one thing they didn't do, they never performed Jump with Sammy. I'd go totally fanboy over meeting almost any member of Kiss to this day, but Ace was my fave. Ace Frehley. Um, I'm a drummer, so of course I was a Peter Criss fan, and he wrote my favorite song, Beth. But there's been a lot of debate because if you've never watched those videos on, who really wrote Beth, and so there's some controversy there. But I'm trying to think, what's another good band to go see live back in Bachman Turner Overdrive. They were awesome. I went to see them live. I don't know if anybody remembers them, but
I've never heard of them.
BTO, man. BTO. A lot of people don't know that the name Richard Bachman that Stephen King took for some of his writing to ghostwrite came from the fact that he was talking to his brother-in-law, Richard, while Bachman Turner Overdrive was playing. He was talking to him on the phone, and that's where the name Richard Bachman came from. Bert liked me because I did what I wanted. My dad just died, so I was doing a lot of acid and didn't care, and nobody could stop me. Metallica and Cliff Burton is one on top of the list for me live. Yeah. I got to tell you, actually, surprisingly, when I went to see Billy Joel, I went with Charlie. Anna knows who Charlie is.
Yeah.
Charlie and I went to see Billy Joel, and I was shocked during part of the show that I learned that he doesn't do those really high notes, that he has a backup singer who hits the high notes for him. And because I noticed that, because directional, you can hear where it's coming from, close yard of the stage. And he was at one spot, and the person who hit the high note in the song was not him. And it just I always thought that was him. It wasn't him, not even on the album. Not a big fan of crowds either.
Yeah, it's not just the crowds. It's all the people around and the level of noise, and I just shut down. So there's no point in ever trying to do that again.
Yeah.
I won't get anything out of it. I shut down. To the point where I pass out.
Sting is somebody who I've always wanted to go see live and never got to go see live.
Sting and Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, both of them. I was so pissed. Zoe and I wanted to go see Peter Gabriel and Sting live, and we didn't find out till it was too late, and there were no seats available, all sold out, and it broke my heart because that was probably the one chance we would ever get to go see them playing together, doing each other's music. Man, that was fucking cool. That's like when Billy Joel and Elton John started touring. I love that, doing each other's music. Iron Maiden.
18 times, Bill. I just have done
impressive.
I just have done two. I envy you, my friend, because that is a show.
The only thing I've seen 18 times or more is Star Wars. And anything from the original trilogy, even though I'd be pushing it for Return of the Jedi. But definitely for Empire. I know that I have seen Star Wars, 1977 Star Wars, or some people call it A New Hope. I've seen it over 100 times. Well over 100 times. Guy is ungodly good, even though he was old. Yeah. His bass is still amazing when he goes off on that bass. He's probably in his 70s now. Wow. Probably late 60s, getting ready to hit 70. Wow, Gary Bill. By the way, everybody forgets Bill's in the background right now running the show. Thank you for being here, Bill.
Yeah, he has a long day.
Yeah, we're doing 2 shows, but I think he's doing more.
Oh, yeah, he is. He works day and night.
I've never seen Metallica live, but we have. We're getting close to our break here, and we will begin our second hour.
Like 2 minutes and a half. We still have, so we can shit talk about everything and anything.
Yeah, Picard. I will tell you before we go to break. If they just guaranteed that Kurtzman's not coming back, I would have watched it officially. I would have watched it through Paramount. But because they won't guarantee us that he ain't coming back, I'm not giving them my view. I'm not going to give it to him. But I will tell you, I was very pleased. Not impressed, but I was very pleased.
It felt
with what
like
they
Star
did.
Trek again.
Yeah, it was fun.
It
Had
was
some
fun,
real fun
yeah.
moments.
We had a good time watching it.
Let the characters be the characters. Stop forcing them. Tell, Patrick Stewart, shut the fuck up and read the lines. Stop putting your personal politics out there. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
And I'm torn to what Bill should play for the break. Yeah.
Run to the hills, man. Run to the hills.
And speaking of that, we are now at the 55-minute mark. I say we go ahead and take our quick break here. And for our KGRA audience, we will return in 1 minute. Take us away, Bill. Hi, guys. This is Gerry from Pop Culture Minefield here on KGRA, and we're leaving for our first break. I hope we survive.
Did you know 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated? If you struggle with focus, run low on energy, or when it's time to finally sleep, you simply can't, this can all be linked to dehydration, and Fuel Up has the answer. Our proprietary formula contains the finest cellular hydration with the strongest immune-enhancing natural ingredients. The Fuel Up system is made up of 3 different incredibly tasting varieties. Wake kickstarts your day with a jolt of caffeine. Play boosts focus while hydrating your cells. Rest not only helps you relax, but also rejuvenates your cells while you sleep. Here's what our clients have to say.
I really don't miss my coffee, and you can tell the difference.
So I'm going to take it for the energy. I'm going to take it for the play. I'm going to take it, all day.
And it works. That's the thing. It works. We love it.
Take the Fuel Up Challenge now, where we offer a Feel the Difference money-back guarantee. Fuel Up for life.
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
Oh, wow, we survived. Welcome back to the commercial break. Now for some more Pop Culture Minefield on KGRA. So, as a lot of people know, I'm into the sciences. Hey, Bill.
Before you go on with your show, well, look what I'm wearing. That says it all, right?
Yeah, Iron Maiden says everything.
This is the current tour. Well, the tour is over, but this is the current tour show. But for those that you guys were talking about Rush, now I've seen Rush 17 times. 17.
Damn.
Iron Maiden is at the top of 18, but I'm going to share my screen. And that, who is that?
I can see that big ass grin right there. I know who that is.
That's me in a Rush video, Superconductor. So I just wanted to say, yeah, I was in a Rush video. That's all I'm going to say. That's me right there in the Rush video.
Classic VH1.
Yeah, that's when videos channels were still video channels, right?
Yep.
But
absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of concerts too. Now, I'm going to see Brit Floyd next Saturday. Brit Floyd. They're a cover band, but they're awesome.
Are they the official cover band?
I think so, because they have all the stuff on stage. I mean, I think they're endorsed.
I love those because, like, the Queen, official Queen cover band, they're great.
Is that Killer
That's
Queen?
when they had Mark in there.
Is it Killer Queen? I'm not sure which one it is.
I forget what they call themselves. I just said that when Mark was part of it as the singer, he nailed Freddie Mercury's voice. It was amazing range. He's still a great singer, in my opinion. He can also do a great impression of George Michael when he sings.
Wow.
He hits those notes. Oh, yeah. Because Michael had that, high arched roof of the mouth, which allowed him to really get those notes like Freddie did. His big teeth weren't really what was big. It was the arch of Freddie Mercury's mouth that allowed him to get such range. And he was apparently able to hit, I'm not sure how they phrase it, but it was like 3 octaves. he had one of those voices that could do 3 octaves. And Mercury was just amazing. Operatic. He was trained operatic singer.
Now,
He had learned through opera.
I suppose you watched the live at Wimbledon concert of Queen, in which George basically channeled Freddie.
Yeah, that was, what was that, 1991, I think, when that happened?
Yeah.
And yeah, he nailed it. He absolutely nailed it.
Something?
My wife, she's a huge fan of your Michael, and we're in the car and on the radio we're playing that specific song, and I said to her, "Man, that George Michael did a great Mercury," and she said, "That was not Freddie." Yeah, and it's George Michael.
Some of you guys want to look at something that's really historic, and it kind of is emotional. When you see Queen during Live Aid, 'cause that was one of his last performances. Not, that is deep to watch, intense, because he was ill, he still did that Live Aid. But next, I won't be here for Cinco de Mayo shows. That's a Friday, because I'm going to go hang out with Rudy Sarzo, Quiet Riot. I'm going to see Quiet Riot, so I'm going to hang out with Rudy Sarzo, the bass player. I'm just letting you know. I'm going to hang out with Rudy. No offense, but I'm going to hang out with Rudy Sarzo. Anyway,
that's freaking awesome.
Have a great rest of your show, and
thanks, Bill.
I'll see you guys shortly. Well, we got another show
at the end.
We got another.
Yeah,
show.
we'll get an hour. Well, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Then we're doing it again.
All right, everybody. Have a great day, everybody. Great weekend. Those are in chat that are viewing and watching, listening as well. See ya.
All righty. So this is what I wanted to talk about today. I had done some reading on this. Yeah, go ahead, put stuff over it. There we go. Yeah, it's awesome. I love how I put an image up in it. There we go. So the scientists that did the research on this did it on their own. They worked with animals and they were just curious. And so they took some time on their own time and came to the conclusion that every mammal that weighs more than 2.2 pounds or 0.998 kilograms evacuates their bladder in between 20 and 24 seconds.
You know what amused me most about that, Gerry? That you tweeted it after 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm. People have no clue how much I love to read about what's the latest shit going on in science, and that just tickled me. It's like
now, having been raised among biologists, I can almost assure you that's drunken investigation. Those guys were drunk.
Does look like it, yeah.
It's very possible because, like I said, it was done on their personal time, the research for this. But they concluded that all mammals that weigh more than 2.2 pounds or 0.998 kilograms empty their bladders between 20 and 24 seconds. And you stop and think about it, because look how much fluid has to go out of a little dog. Look at that. Just half a gallon, under half a gallon. And look at how much water has to be expelled by an elephant. Still, same amount of time. It's a proportional thing. That's all it is.
You could have an elephant, a picture of an elephant, and write on his side, Karcher.
Also, have you ever seen an elephant pee? That's impressive.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's pretty horrifying.
Yeah.
You
Man,
could
we
drown.
have topics.
They could drown you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the way it was phrased as I read it was that this was done on their own time. But you have an answer for something. I love that. This is something we now know because scientists are like, I'm just curious.
Oh, look what James has to say about it.
It's if you're talking to somebody in science, they would just look at that and just shrug, like, what's that got to do with anything? Nothing. We're talking about on the average, and you're bringing in specific.
Thank you, Andy.
Oh, you bet, Andy. It's what we do.
We talk about everything.
We talk about everything, and if it's science, it's got my attention.
even if it's
So-
drunk science.
But let's
Oh,
and I don't doubt for a second that they were probably
You need
drunk
that
when they did
Spock
that.
clip that say, "I like science."
So let's get the next one up. Come on, man.
Yep.
Because we got to get through this in a half hour.
That is not gonna be an easy
And
feat.
I don't think Don's making it.
He hasn't seen my message yet.
Yeah, it's just he would have been here.
Yeah, I think so. He really wanted to, though.
So
when we told
this
him to talk
show
about it.
is the new series over on Netflix, Florida Man, and we meet the protagonist here, and he's in an AA type group. I can't remember. It's addiction. It might be gamblers. I don't know.
He's a gambler, ex-gambler,
And he's a gambler, and part of
ex-cop too.
the
Lost
reason.
his badge.
Well, we get to all that. I'm trying to build up to it. He's a person who lost everything to gambling. And what did he lose? He lost his wife and he lost his job as a cop. And so we meet this other guy who was in the AA meeting, and he works at a warehouse there, or one of those tool shops. And all of a sudden he says, "Can you show me a hammer that breaks bone?"
Because he's working for a bad
Because
guy
he's
now.
a collector now.
Yeah.
He owes a gangster because of his gambling debts. So he's got to go out and push people around. And this is really the first time he's been sent out to rough somebody up. And he threatens him with his own tools. And it leads to a funny chase scene in the store.
Yeah.
Because once he realizes, hey, man, what's wrong with you that you would do that to fellow gamblers,
And that tips him off because he is really trying to stay clean. And he's pissed that the other guy is still gambling because he's trying to buy time. He has a big bet coming up or something in 2 weeks. And he tells him, I'm not
so
here
now
to
he runs.
negotiate.
And my favorite moment is when he starts grabbing stuff, throwing it at him, including nails. He grabs handfuls of nails, throwing them at him as he's running from him. And,
And
threatens to
in the
break
end,
his leg. He goes to leap over these bags and
he
trips and
falls and
breaks his leg. And he says, "You're just angry because you did it yourself."
Yeah.
You're not angry at me. You're angry at yourself. And so he gets to report back that technically he broke his leg. And now we meet his ex-wife, who's still with the DEA. She's always trying to get him to come back, and he wants the marriage back. And she is nervous because of his previous lifestyle. But because of who he works for, she sees an in for her to do part of her investigation on the gangster. And he's like, "I'm not going to do that. I can't do that." And she says, "Don't you want back in?" And it's a really good scene. What I like about this is it gets right to the point of things. And it starts moving the story forward immediately.
Also, I really like that it cost him his marriage, yes, but they are still talking.
Yeah, they're
It's
still
not like
talking,
she
and
totally
she still
dropped
cares.
him. They are civilized around each other.
And he gives her the ring back that he hawked.
Yeah. Well, he tells her he showed the guy a picture and he made a new one, but I think he got the old one back.
Yeah. And it's a good scene. We establish both their personal and professional relationship. We get all the backstory we need of that he was a cop, blah, blah, blah. So each one of these scenes gives us information about the main character that we need moving forward. And that's a sign of good writing when you get that happening. They're giving you everything you need to be able to start enjoying the show instead of you trying to unravel everything. I think that writers tend to put too much work on the audience, making us unravel things. And you don't need that with this. Oh, and here's the guy that got his leg broken, now being roughed up by the mobster himself. And he says, "I found a gold, what do they call them? Spanish gold." And the gangster has no vision. So he's just
forces him to swallow it.
He forces him to swallow it, but he doesn't swallow it. He chokes on it and spits it out, and it rolls down around behind one of the pieces of furniture in the room. Because he just doesn't care. What he wants is his 200 grand right now. And he's not going to mess around. And in the end, I think he kills him here. it's not really made clear, but I do believe that he kills him here because he's cutting up his body later. I think he just wanted to kill him, which I think is weird because gangsters want their money. So killing,
Yeah, maybe he has lost hope with that one.
you don't know. I just thought it was weird. That's the girlfriend, and she's like, "I'm trying to do my makeup, and you're beating people."
She's getting ready to go out celebrate. What is it? Her birthday, the anniversary? I forgot.
I can't remember. I just know that she's an interesting character. That she's trying to look like actress Veronica Lake, and he's her driver. And I immediately
they have chemistry.
I already like caught on to the fact that if something hasn't happened, something's going to happen between these two.
It's birthday, yeah.
Anniversary of what?
Anniversary is next, but this evening is her birthday.
And the gangster he's like one of those guys that, what do they call it? He inherited things. He didn't work for it. So he just doesn't have an appreciation for anything.
He really doesn't know.
And he's kind of dumb. Again, he inherited this. It's not because he worked and figured it all out on his own. He doesn't know what he's doing. And
he certainly doesn't know how to have a relationship.
Yep. And she's unhappy. You can clearly tell this during this conversation. She's very unhappy in their relationship. And he's enamored with her.
He sees her as one of the pretty things that he has. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is, a possession.
And she doesn't want to be that. She wants to feel special. All the gifts she gets is something stolen, something somebody else has had before. She wants to be seen as a person, not as...
Yeah, and I think, I can't remember, but she sees something on the jewelry that tells her that this belonged to somebody. It might be blood. I don't know.
Maybe.
Then you take the time to clean it.
She gets really upset and runs out.
And of course, he's got to take her wherever
Make
she's
sure she
going.
gets home safe. Yeah.
And there's almost a feel of Against All Odds here. Against All Odds, the movie with Jeff Bridges and Rachel Ward, where the gangster's wife and the low-level enforcer have feelings.
Well, they clearly do. You can tell there's something going on.
He follows her down the street. You know, it's not safe here.
There's a lot of hookers on the street, and she's like, yeah, so what's one more? That's how she sees herself in this relationship. Like a prostitute.
That's true.
Sad.
So she gets into the car with him, and he's going to take her dancing. And then you see that there's a chemistry between them. There are feelings. And she says the line, "I thought you said never again."
Yeah, then you know stuff has happened between them.
Yep.
And the gangster is just too dumb to realize that she's unhappy and that she's having fun with other guys.
Well, with him.
Yeah, well, because he seems to be like his closest employee, if you want.
Confidant.
He's keeping him close. So he clearly has no idea what's going on behind.
Because he owns him. And that's the thing with him. He likes owning things, owning people.
Yeah.
And, you know, they stop off for some coffee. He gets out of the car. I actually thought, oh my God, please don't have something happen while he's away from the car. I was like, whoo, when he got back with the coffee.
No, but you can see that an idea forms in her head to get out of the situation.
Yep.
By the look on her face.
Yeah, she wants out. And she wants him to go with her.
To Florida.
And he's like, I ain't going to Florida because guess what? That's his secret past.
That's where he's from.
Florida.
And Florida got him into gambling. He's not going back there.
Now, the show is listed as a drama, and I'm telling you right now, this is not a drama. It's a dramedy.
No.
There is some serious comedy in this film. And the insanity of the comedy sometimes just was like so over the top, but I so thoroughly enjoyed it.
Like the guy falling and breaking his leg instead of having
the guy falling and breaking his leg instead of him
that was
having
hilarious.
to. I laughed so hard at that.
And a really bad break too. It's a compound fracture.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not just
complete
broken, it's
open
open.
compound fracture. Compound means that it broke the skin and the bone's sticking out. It's a full
Sticks
fracture.
out good.
And it's gnarly. I've
Yeah.
seen them. I've treated them. They're gnarly. He wakes up the next day. Oh my God, I love this. And I love the little stress doll there next to the bed. This
Yeah.
little squeezy doll. And here we find out she's gone.
Yeah.
After
Because he gave
talking
her-
to him.
He gave her a nice car and they made up and everything seemed fine. And in the morning, she's gone. And
Yeah, this
there are 2
kind of
speeding
reminds me,
tickets with photos.
and again on purpose. Oh, I covered the nipple, and because he says, "What did you guys talk about?" We didn't talk. It's sex.
No, he asked her, did she say anything in the car last night? And then you see the flashback to the sex scene, and he's like, no, she didn't say anything. She was moaning, but she didn't say anything.
So there's the car, and she's looking at that car, has the keys, and she's leaving. And she intentionally, I guarantee you, the minute you find out that her photo was taken at a speed trap, one of those cameras.
She did that on purpose.
It was on
yeah.
purpose. And all for not her boyfriend, but for him.
Yeah.
To be able to find her. And
Because
that's what
the
that's
ticket
about.
tells him where she is in Florida.
And then here he gives him the order, go to Florida. He goes, no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Florida, no.
They are both forcing him to go. She tricked him by driving there in the car, and she knows that her boyfriend, aka gangster boss, will force him to go for her. So she gets what she wants.
Yep.
Get away with him.
It's going to cost you $50. And this is where he works out his deal that you forgive basically half my debt. And he's like, fucking gamblers.
Hey, I think I didn't drop a bomb so far.
Yeah.
Didn't I? I'm doing good. I'm too tired to drop bombs.
But
yeah, Don isn't here to count them. Maybe that's why I'm doing so good.
So he agrees, and so that's it. He's now heading to Florida. And he's telling him to do it cheaply. Get an economy car. I love this scene with the guns, all these lockers, these gun lockers and shit. And he goes over and steals somebody's gun from the pickup. And
it happens to be a cop, too.
It's Agent Coulson from Agency S.H.I.E.L.D. It's his gun that he steals because he's a cop. So now this cop is in Florida without his gun, so he's got to get a gun. And that's part of the ongoing plot with his character, how they're interconnected. Here's the hotel, and he makes fun of the hotel. He says, is there anything else I can do for you? He goes, yeah, you can take out the apostrophe on the word bombs. It makes it possessive. And he goes, well, it's my possession. He's, can I have my keys? It goes through the bombs. I love that. Oh, man, I need one of those right now. He's trying to pick the lock on this gun locker. And he pulls it out, and that looks like a 1911A with some special stuff on it.
It's a nice one.
And I think that's a Colt Commander, not the Combat. That's Colt Commander. It's the shorter of the 45s. I love how the phones play a thing. Now, here's the thing. He didn't want to come back to Florida. Now I'm in Florida. What's going to happen to this poor guy? First day in Florida. He's at the beach.
Oh my God, I forgot that scene. Yeah.
He sees a girl drowning. Oh, he has the memory of the gold coin because he's the one who found that coin that guy had in his possession. He's the one who told the story about the gold. And then he's broken from his reverie, and this girl is drowning out in the ocean. Nobody's reacting. Lifeguard's not paying attention. He swims out to save her, and it becomes an ugly situation because her top came off, and she starts screaming that he molested her.
Instead of thank you for saving my life.
Yeah, instead of thanking him. And everybody's recording it.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, she had a top on. I'll go back and get it. It's in the water.
And she does. He goes back to get it.
He goes back into the water to get her top for her. And as he does, he gets attacked by a small shark and it bites him. It looks like right on his wiener.
Yep. Well, that's what the news says too, because he is
And
on
the
TV
news
with that, and the news make it look like his dick got bitten
said
off.
he sexually assaulted her and was then attacked by a shark. That's his sister, and she goes, "Oh, and by the way, it didn't
You
bite
shared
your
it on the
wiener off.
news.
It didn't
I
bite your wiener.
checked.
It didn't bite your wiener off because I checked. Not me. I had the nurse do it. His own sister. It's so creepy.
It
That
is.
this show just cracks me
And
up.
he's
I love
not
the writing.
happy that he made the news. That's not helping his situation.
Yeah, there's the video of him getting attacked by the shark.
And that is the comedy in that. It's
First
so
day
good.
back in Florida, and he didn't want to come here. He didn't want to come back.
It is a little over the top, but it's still so much fun.
I love it. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
This has that. It reminds me of Get Shorty, the fun one with Travolta and Gene Hackman and Rene Russo. I can't forget that one.
Hackman or DeVito?
DeVito's in it. Hackman's the other co-star. DeVito's like in it.
Venkman's girl just joined us. Hi.
Oh, hey.
And no, John, I don't think we could go back to that.
Go back to what?
This one.
I think we get back to Anna's question. Have you seen an elephant pissing? Oh, no, we're done with that. We're done.
We're done.
Popping in to say hi. It's good to see you, Vinkman's girl. Thanks for swinging by. We appreciate it. So, is this what he's reporting to him? What's going on here? I forgot here.
I think, yeah.
I'm having connection problems.
That sucks, Martin. Yeah, he's on the phone with him.
Oh, yeah, this is where he threatens his family.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's not going to let that lie. He hangs up, but that shit's not cool. You don't threaten family. And so he goes, pays to have all these cards printed, throws them all away but one.
He only
just
needs one
card. So he goes to the police department and gives his card that he's doing security and investigation on this item. And the cop's going to help him. Getting your dick bit off by a shark. He goes, it wasn't bit off. Oh, okay, good.
That's graphic, Jeebus.
Not really. That's not graphic at all.
Yeah, so he's making up an investigation to get help finding the girl.
Yep. Making it about this thing when it's really about her. I need to find her to give her money, inheritance, blah, blah, blah. And of course, the cop knows him because he worked with his dad. His dad was a big-time cop, but apparently also a crook. Sinkhole plays heavily into this plot of this story.
And he has
That's
to go
his
to
brother-in-law.
family dinner.
Yep,
Family
that's his
dinner.
brother-in-law. And his niece is at the table too, and his niece is a little shit.
Yes.
A mouthy, vulgar little shit.
She annoyed me. Very annoying character.
Angels in the
Typical
lines
teenager.
of geometry. That's a great line. It's such a mundane family. There's nothing interesting about them.
Nothing really.
Yeah, and she was like fixated with her uncle's dick being bit off. I thought that was weird. What? What do people think it was bit off? It was not bit off.
She's a bit like the teenager in the other series we're going to discuss. Just an annoying teenager.
Yeah, it's like my problem with a lot of writers, they don't know how to write teenagers.
Mm.
It's sort of like that new series with Jennifer Garner, The Last Thing He Told Me. I have tried watching the show and I get so annoyed every time the teenager talks. Graphic would be after the natives came out and started playing soccer with it.
Oh my god.
All right, it's
Good
insurance check
point.
thing. It's a nightmare. And that's still, the relationship. I like the relationship between him and his sister.
Yeah.
What I find is that most teenagers act like that. I'm not sure what she's Asian rap artist, where she's just always like, that's
Billie
teenagers.
Eilish.
No, she's Asian.
I have no idea what you mean.
Hip hop, rap. She does rap.
Oh.
And there's his dad, their dad, and played by LaPaglia. I love this guy as an actor, Australian born, does American accents perfectly. And he's still kind of a criminal. You kind of get it that he's running a racket from this bar, from this dock. He's running rackets. And there's a rift between these two. We don't know what exactly it is, but the son doesn't trust him and wants nothing to do with him, but knows that he can't get anything done without communicating with him.
Yeah, I hope we find out more about that later. What's going on between them?
Yeah, because his belief, as you see as the story progresses, that he believes the dad is going to do nothing but try to take everything he's got again. Something happened between these two, and we'll eventually get around to it in one of the episodes where they break down their past. But I think that what we see from the dad is that he really genuinely cares about his son and wants to help him. But if he can make money doing it too, he'll do it.
Maybe he got his son into gambling.
No, because the shark did not get his wiener; it just bit his thigh. So no, Lorena would have been very disappointed. And here's the part where you find out his gun was stolen and he needs a gun. I feel naked without a gun. I'm a cop without a gun traveling. And his wife is just berating him in a way. I don't like the way his wife acts towards him.
She's not nice, no.
No, she's not respectful. You should always be respectful to your spouse. Male, female, doesn't matter. Be respectful.
I'm still confused as to how he just was able to grab the gun and walk out of there. That was so easy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something that I would have to do research to find out if it couldn't take place that way. Because Florida's a strange state when it comes to gun laws. It could be a shot they're taking at Florida for being so easy on the laws, when in fact it's not that easy. I can't imagine walking up into a federally managed airport and grabbing a gun and walking off with it. Just no fucking way.
Right?
But it's a show. It's not reality. They create their own reality. I'm in a new car. So that's the car she had. She sold it. And again, I absolutely, while watching this, telling you, that's not an accident either. That got left behind in the car.
No. That's
she
planted.
is intentionally leaving a trail. And he finds a place called Gator Tail Lounge, where hooker-like women hang out. Oh, yeah, this is where he finds out somebody dumped the body in a drain. It's been cut up in pieces.
Oh.
That's the guy with the broken leg.
And it's the guy that he chased has been cut up in pieces and found in the sewer. Yeah, they're piecing him back together again on the dock.
Being chopped didn't help any.
A human puzzle.
And she knows about his debt, so.
Oh, yeah. She knows that he works for the mobster. Why?
That too, but he can't give up information that would get him in trouble. tricky situation.
Yeah, because now she knows he's in Florida.
Yeah.
And she wants to know about his dad.
And she's not happy about him being in Florida because that's where he got in trouble.
This is a fun moment because in here he goes in and the guy says, "You a gambler?" And sells him one of those little tickets, that you scratchers. So he scratches it off, doesn't get anything, but then turns right around and there she is outside that bar right across the street. So he gets his scratcher, he's watching over there, and boom, he is a gambler. And he took his chances, and there she is.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has memories of them together, dancing, kissing.
So clearly stuff has happened more than once between them.
And we know there's feelings involved. I love this. He calls him and asks him questions. He goes, "Why would you ask me that over a phone?" He's so paranoid. But he's also angry. This is where he threatens him back. "Don't you ever threaten my family again."
Well, he has something on him now.
Yep.
With his girl.
He's like, okay. There's a good scene.
Yeah. It's his way out. If he brings her back.
And if you don't, I own you the rest of your life is basically the deal. And that's it, man. First episode right out. I think the show started with a bang.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good show. Very entertaining.
How far did we get into it? I think 2 episodes? 3?
We're 3 episodes in, you and I.
Okay.
And I highly recommend it if you liked Get Shorty or those crime comedies that aren't over the top, like stupid, silly, but have actual like people acting like people and doing stupid shit occasionally and getting a giggle out of it. You'll like this show.
Jeebus, the dick is safe. We say that multiple times.
Yeah, that was what I was responding to a minute ago when I responded. I was responding to that comment. But I got to tell you, good show. Well, we left enough time, I hope, to talk about From. But Don's not here. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe
he probably
got
overslept.
busy.
You
You think he went back to sleep? He's been online before today.
So I don't know. I turn off my social media when I'm on here because it taxes my internet. So all I know is that I was really happy to hear that he liked that show. Now, From is on Epix. It's a very good show. Can somebody pull up a graphic? Because I can't. From is got one of the main characters is from the show Lost. And all right, I'll fucking do it.
Can you do it, Martin?
I'm sorry, it was muted. I'm trying to find one.
I've already got it.
Okay.
It's not rocket science. So From has this cast, an amazing cast. It's creepy as hell. The basic premise is people live in this village. And
both Juan and you
about
thought I couldn't stomach it. And I'm happy I can.
There are people living in this village. And in the village, you have this gentleman right here. He's like the town sheriff. He's got a badge. He's walking through town with a bell. And like the classic caller in the town square. And then we meet this gentleman and his family. They're in an RV. And they're traveling along a highway. You see other cars around them. And then we see a point where they're just on a road by themselves. And it's during this moment that you notice something odd. One, the music. There's a music cue that goes with it. It's ominous, but you see a movement of the trees next to the road, and I thought that was interesting that they showed that. And they're alone on the road, and then all of a sudden they come to a stop, and there is a tree down in the road, uprooted tree, laying in the middle of the road. And they thought that's really odd for that to happen that way, and they can't go past it. And then suddenly these ravens pop in. They call them crows, but they're ravens.
They
and
are. Too big
and
to be
they're
crows.
and it's like they're watching them. It's really a bizarre scene, and it freaks them out a little bit. It's like, let's get back inside the RV and turn around. And when they turn around and when they go up the road, they end up in this town. And we also find out in the opening scene that that a woman and her child are dead. They were killed during the night by something pretty freaking scary.
Yeah.
And it wanted to come in, and the little girl's like, you know, talking to her grandmother outside the window. And it's like, when are you going to let me in? And the mother comes up, no! And she opens the window, and this thing changes and eats them.
You see the sheriff walk through town just before nightfall with a bell, so it's curfew. And no windows.
Her husband is in a bar, and he's drunk and he's passed out. So the next morning, everything's discovered.
They call the sheriff. Yeah, they're found
he
dead.
wanders
The sheriff
home.
goes to get the man. Sorry.
The husband goes home like nothing's wrong. Finds out that his wife and daughter have been killed by one of these things, and the sheriff's pissed. Beats the shit out of him.
The sheriff drags him home. Yeah. Tells him, look at
drags him up into the house. He didn't drag him home. He drags him up into the house and shows him, this is your family. You did this. You caused this.
And you see what the creatures do to people.
And they don't drink the blood. They don't eat all of the person. They seem to be focused on eating the organs.
Yeah.
And so they're completely ripped open and gutted. And it's always a bloody mess. And this is the first death in months. I think they said 6 months or some shit like that.
You see a sign that they have so and so many days without incident, and then they have to wipe it off because now it's 0 days.
It's starting at zero again. And this family shows up in their RV during the funeral. And the people act really oddly towards them. And the reason why, just to put it very simply, people don't just arrive in this town because this place is isolated. It's like it's in its own pocket of the universe. That when somebody arrives there, it's because they've been taken. And the family doesn't know they've been taken. So they think they're just happened upon a little town. And the sheriff tells them, yeah, just go straight down the road, turn right, and get you back to the highway. Of course, that's not going to happen. They go back up there, and they end up driving right back into the town again.
Because you can't escape.
It's a loop. You can check out, but you can never leave Hotel California.
Yeah, the movement in the trees, I think, is the shift in reality. They're taken somewhere else.
Yeah, and there's a lot of theories of what's going on in this show. I personally fall under one of them myself, but I don't want to give you my thoughts on it because we've got a whole new season starting this weekend. Let's see, what day does it start? Let me check.
25, I think.
No, it's the 23rd. It'll be Sunday. On Sunday, the first episode of season 2 airs on Epix. I'm looking forward to it. This show is intense.
Yeah.
And it's a mystery. It very much like 1899. There are a lot of thematically, it's very similar.
It's easier though to watch because I get why people dropped out of 1899. It was very, very cryptic.
Some of the things that are discovered while in this world is that there are all these houses there, but they're not all from the same period. There are rune stones that protect the houses from these
All
creatures.
the cars are derelict because nobody needs a car there.
All the cars are relics. Not all of them can run. There is electricity, but there are no wires. When they
So where does
unplug
it
things,
come from?
they unplug them. And there's no wire in there inside these cables. It's like, how is everything working? They begin a process of maybe we should dig down. And the more they dig, the more menacing and threatening these things become. And there has to be like a specific number. If they go over that number of people have to die.
Because
Which
the
is-
family in the
they-
RV has an accident with another car. So
yeah,
we learn
and there's
that-
somebody in the back seat sleeping that
Yeah.
I don't think was seen by these things that are controlling everything. There are these creatures, and then there's this little boy, all dressed in white. I believe that he is evil. I believe he is absolutely evil.
Yeah.
That little boy. We're
That's
not
the feeling
shown
I
that.
got from it.
We're not shown that. That is just my gut feeling about this kid. That when you see him, this is not a good omen. Because the
Absolutely,
first
yeah.
time that you learn of somebody seeing him was the kid when he was a kid, who's a man during the show. But when he was a kid, he saw him. And it was right after the slaughter of the entire village but him. He witnessed the entire slaughter of the village. And so they had to start all over. And I fall in line with, I believe that these are, some people call them aliens. I consider this an alternate reality, a pocket universe. And I believe they have access to any place. That's why they have a map up in the middle of the town in the sheriff's department that pins where everybody is from when they came into this town. There's no way that they got into the town from every state unless there's a portal. And we find out there are portals here. And the portals come in the appearance of a tree or the road. It's either the road or a tree. And if you, like the one dude, he's kind of like a little emotionally retarded, slow, but he's really smart. He's autistic maybe. And he shows the other kid, if you drop a rock down inside this tree, it'll fall out of the sky. And then we also see a moment where the super genius guy finds himself caught in a moment in time, a pocket of time, when he gets shot at and stabbed by a Civil War soldier.
Oh God.
And the one house where the priest lives is a house clearly built in the 1800s. So how long has this place been here? What the hell is it? And what are these creatures? And I think they're not extraterrestrial. I think they're extra dimensional. And that basically these people have been abducted by aliens. Or
The thing about the creatures is they take on
That's
the
my
appearance
theory.
of people that the people
yeah,
in
they
town
get into
knew.
your head. Because I don't think it's a physical thing. I think that's in their head. They can do
Yeah,
things
no,
and get into your
absolutely.
head.
But
And
before they
disguise
lash out,
themselves.
their faces change and they look really, really evil.
And they
They
want,
have
let us in the
nightmarish.
house. Let us in. Tap, 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 scratch, scratch, scratch.
Yeah,
It's
Darius,
creepy
you're
as
not
hell.
getting another video.
All I got to tell you is, we're near the end of the show. We'll say it's the second half. We'll play him another video.
Oh, don't get soft.
Don't tell me when it gets.
I'm your woman. It's my job to tell you what to do.
Everlight, protect Grog and the rest of our friends, wherever they are.
So, by the end of the series, the sheriff and the girl who actually murders somebody because she is being spoken to by these things, kill so and so and we'll help you. Kill the little, and in one of the instructions, kill the boy and everyone goes home. I think that's a misunderstanding. She thinks it's the new little boy, this guy's son. I think the creatures are referring to the boy in white.
Well, she gets the message though while the boy and his family are in the diner where she's working. That's
Yeah,
how
but
she
I
makes
don't
the
think. I think
connection.
that's why it causes a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
I think that it's the little boy in white. I don't know. I don't think this is one of them. because he walks around during the day. And he has the dogs. He has those damn German shepherds. Very bitey dogs. Very bitey dogs. But this, I think this show is really good. I don't want to spoil it too much. What happens when he goes into the woods? But he takes the girl who murdered and tried to murder somebody else, but she's doing it because she's being led to do this, told to do it. That she can save everybody if she does these things. And so I think they kind of, it's not like they feel sorry for her, but they empathize with her. That if I was told that, I might do the same thing too. So he and she go into the woods, and that is some crazy shit that happens to them when they go into the woods. We discovered that the trees are moving, that, what's the guy's name? Kent? Whatever his name is, the one that was the little boy and he grew up. He's the oldest member that's lived there. Lived there the longest. Sorry. But he's measuring the positions of the trees. He says they've moved over 6 inches over this period of time. And I'm like, why are they moving? This is interesting. This is all interesting. Are the trees what they seem? Is anything in this place what it looks like?
Is anything real, or is it all in their heads?
Is it something else being made to look in their heads like it's something? Are they really breathing air? I don't know. This is crazy. Now, some people's theories went from Irish folklore that these are fairies, but I don't think that's what's going on here. Although I think that some of the mythology from Ireland is used with these creatures, but I don't think that's what they are. I think what these creatures are alien, or what we would perceive as alien. They're bald, and they've got crazy looking eyes. And I think that this is their representation of Greys.
Yeah, I'm with the alien theory.
And again, it's not like they're really aliens. I believe these are interdimensional creatures that can open up the pocket anywhere they want and pull somebody in. And I think they're constantly watching. I don't believe they're on the ground. I don't believe that for a second. I believe that they're not even in our dimension, but I don't believe they're even in their dimension that they're actually on any kind of ground. I think that this is a lot like Dark City.
And they're apparently treated as some kind of cattle. And the number has to be even because 3 people die, 6 people arrive. So the number is uneven. So 3 of those need to die.
Yep.
It's so weird. Like, why? Why is the number so important? I can't wait to watch more.
Yep. And so this is a really good show. It's creepy as hell. And they also, and I got to be honest, I think this is very critical of woke and the left because the people who they separate into groups. There's one group that lives in the village and there's one group that lives on the hill. And everybody on the hill are your typical hippie type people, want to break from the community. And they
look down on the others a bit.
They're very condescending. And they're the ones who suffer the most because of their own hubris in the show. They really do. It's the people that are in the village that are more grounded, not the people who live on the hill. And their teenage daughter, the guy there that's with the house behind him, his teenage daughter is just your typical, again, badly written teenager.
Yeah.
And she's mean. This is the thing that bugs me is how mean they always have to show teenage girls being.
She treats her little brother like shit.
Well, it's the same thing with that show I was just talking about with Jennifer Garner. The daughter's written exactly the same way as the daughter in this.
Yeah.
That in order for us to show character growth, we have to show them being a complete see you next Tuesday. She's got to be a complete see you next Tuesday. And then we get to show the growth. It's like, I don't know, people forget what it's like being a teenager. I don't. I remember exactly what it was like. It was frustrating, but they write teenagers badly. And so she makes a stupid decision that impacts everybody, the daughter. And then everybody's like, oh, it's okay. Well, and once again, this also has a statement about young people making decisions. I'm not going to say what I'm talking about, but young people being put in position of making decisions when maybe they're not the best judge of that situation. Just saying. Kids making choices. Just saying. Not going to be specific.
You're talking about vegan cats.
No,
right?
I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not. Everybody knows.
Yeah,
what
you're
I'm
talking about vegan cats.
Yeah, vegan cats are stupid.
Yeah.
So, but look, this is a great series. If you've not caught it, this is some entertainment you could be sitting down to enjoy.
Give it a
great
try.
cast too. What a great cast! And I'm going to tell you, when they're in the woods, those freaking spiders. Yep, that had me. Yep, I was like, don't want to watch.
They keep talking about that. I'm not there yet, but I'm dreading it. I'm dreading to see. Gerry promised me to fast forward through it.
I will jump, not fast forward. I'll jump through it, like, boop, boop, like 10 seconds here. So, but anyway, I guess this is the wrap up here. Bill, you got anything you want to add? Bill's back. What is he doing? What are you doing? Turn off the porn, Bill.
Shut up. Don't even know if he can hear. He doesn't have his headset on.
I know. I'm just messing with him. Bill will be back to join us in an hour for the TGIF. Still not sure what we're going to talk about today because, again, show wasn't planned.
What?
We were supposed to meet this
Kieran
morning.
can't make it.
We were supposed to meet before the show this morning to talk about it, but
yeah,
didn't happen. So I have no idea what we're doing this afternoon. I just know that I'm going to get to a point where I'm just not going to do TGIF anymore if I can't get a better plan, because I don't like doing half-ass shit. I don't. I like being as pro as possible. And of course, our first guest is not going to be there, so I don't know.
Well, he's so busy. The amount of articles Kieran is shooting out. I'm wondering when he sleeps. Seriously.
I don't know. I really don't, because Mikey needs to get more writers, and I don't know what's going on. I'm going to hit him up this weekend. Like, what's going on, dude? You need to get more writers. You're going to wear him out. I would hate to see him get worn out.
Hey, boss. I would like to share something that Andrew Morrow sent on chat.
Yeah, what? Yeah. It's me too. I laughed when I saw that this morning. Yeah. And hey, Bill.
That's probably one of the nicer sends that you'll get from Andy Morrow.
Andy sends me some funny, messed up shit. I will chuckle when he sends it to me. Look, Parrot Head, Monkey Jeebus, Andy Morrow are the three guys that are. And Bush does it too. McFadden sends me great memes and stuff. I'm always chuckling at the shit those guys send me.
Well, we've got in another hour or so, we've got another show. So send away.
Absolutely. Modern teenagers must be the devil if Monkey Jeebus thinks they're mean. Look, the fact is, my biggest frustration with like my teens was actually just my daughter. Hey, Bush, what's up, man? Just talking about you. Oh, he's the devil. You mentioned the devil, and then he shows up.
Beetlejuice.
I'm just saying. Beetlejuice.
Say his name 3 times. There he is.
So,
remake of that. Is there a remake in the works for that? Yeah, I've heard about this.
A sequel.
A sequel.
It was supposedly greenlit with Tim Burton and cast. But I don't know, man. All I know is that there is good television out there to
Not
be
much.
seen.
But there is a little.
Not
Yeah,
much,
there is a
but
little.
there are some, and I'm thankful
Well,
for
I
everyone.
find enough shows to really occupy a lot of our time to where even Anima goes, I can't start a new show. I can't do it.
Guys, we are watching the movies for Military Monday and like 5 different shows at the same time. And I'm
But
not
the fact
like that.
is
I'm
I have the
binging one
divining
show and
rod.
gonna start doing it.
I have the divining rod always out looking
I
for
know.
something good. And trailers tell me a lot. And they really tell me about if you really took the time, if you're focusing on just the glitz and glamour, or if you're focusing on the story. And if you've got a show that's really working on the story, it's in the trailer. You'll see it in the trailer. And I saw a trailer for it, and I went, I'm watching that. That looks interesting. And boom, it was.
Gerry, you never went into like the older World War II films like Midway or what is it, Tora, like movies like that?
I'm trying to stay more modern with a lot of the films, but I have gone back. I mean, we just did The Wild Geese, which is a 70s film. So I probably will go back and do Tora. I'll probably do Midway. For old World War II films, there's only a handful that I think are really good war films. One of them is Battle Cry and Steel Helmet. 2 films that Don and I have talked ad nauseum about. They were really well written. Also, another one, Big Red One, the director's cut, is a very good film.
Before we go, there's one that's really great. They're robbing a bank or a vault, and behind enemy lines, it has
Kelly's Heroes.
That's one of my favorites.
I have that on the list.
Oh,
in fact, it is in the folder right now for military movies to show Anima.
Great Escape 2, another one I love.
Now, we watched the original Stalag 17, but Great Escape is another great war film. Both films based on actual incidents. And I will get around to that because that is one of my favorite films. James Garner, Steve McQueen. What a cast.
Yes. Oh my
James
God.
Coburn. What a cast. But we have reached the end of the show, guys. We'll be back in about an hour to do TGIF. I have no idea what the fuck we're going to talk about. I have no idea. We'll figure it out when we get there. But there's a lot of stuff that happened this week, and I'm sure that's what we're just going to talk about. But anyway.
Maybe you can get Keith on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll call him, see what's going on. But anyway, guys, we'll see you in about an hour. Everybody, thanks a lot for showing up this morning and letting us talk about these shows. I'll find out what's going on with Don. I get worried when I don't hear from him like that. So, but anyway, because he's never late. He's always
Hey,
there.
Loki's here.
Loki is going to be joining us. That's right. This is our big news. Loki is going to be on TGIF this afternoon.
Oh, cool.
So I'm sure we're going to have plenty to talk about. Loki, I'm going to send you an invite to join us in here after the show so we can talk. Anyway, we'll see you guys in an hour. Bye.
See you guys. Bye.
Later. Those sons of bitches.
Ma, I'm doing a show.